This is Chrissy from the future. So, a very special Chrissy. And I come with a message. We had some technical difficulties during this recording. So, there will be about a 10-minute stretch and maybe little patches in there where the video and the audio are not sync. And I'm terribly sorry for that. We didn't have enough time to redo it, but I still wanted to get this information out there. So, I was like, hey, it wouldn't be the first time the girl's seen a video out of sync. But if you're listening to the audio only experience on places like Apple or Heart or Amazon, this is completely fine. Like the audio is clear. You totally understand what we're saying. But if you like to watch us on YouTube or Spotify, you will see a little delay in the audio and video sync. And I'm sorry about that. But it's still a great episode. And I'm so excited for y'all to listen. See y'all next time. Hey, y'all. I'm Chrissy, and welcome back to Photographer Life Check. Today, we have one of my fave repeat guests. Y'all should know if y'all watched season 1, episode 14. Today, we have the cinematographer, director, DJ, Ashley O'Shea. Hey, 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 hey.
Hello.
Ashley, thank you for coming. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I am soaking up this California sun.
Delicioso.
How are you, Chrissy?
I'm
There's some sun over there.
It's some sun over here. Hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
And you already know a Chicago like 56 is real cute.
That's a California 90, okay?
Exactly. So I'm not mad. I'm having a good time too. But let's start like we always do with the photographer quick check. Eventually, this podcast will be in person. You know, hit the email for funding. But I think it's just important to talk about how we come into our spaces, how we come into set. And so let's get into something about the fit today. It could be anything. It don't got to be everything. What's something that you're wearing that you love?
I will just shout out this hat that I'm wearing. That's a little dirty. We ain't gonna talk about it. This is a one of one from my first film, Unapologetic. This colorway is not publicly available.
You can't get it.
So yeah, it's just I guess calling that up today. And then I think these beads I got from, I want to say I got it from Ghana, Accra, which I think I had something on from Accra the last time. So I was like,
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest of the fit is just, you said what? Sorry.
That's so funny because I was also going to shout out this scarf on some, y'all don't even know. Understand.
Oh, the scarf.
Yes. The scarf is no wonder, little do y'all know. Okay. So shout out to this scarf. Love her.
Eden. Look good to me.
Period.
I feel like we're always just laughing when we're on this. I'm sorry that I'm just every time when two Aquariuses walk into a bar.
No, literally, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a key. That's what we're here for. Wait, no, I'm so glad you said that too, because when I was looking at some of our old clips after Autumn won, I was looking at some of our old clips. I was like, we were cracking deep the whole time. Like every clip I'm looking at, we just giggling, and I was like, this is so cute.
No, really. It's just something. I feel safe laughing with you.
Yay! Oh my God, the highest compliment. Samesies.
Okay, I'm gonna stop though, so you can get out with yours.
Right, let's get into it. So, like I mentioned, Autumn, a couple days ago, she just made history by becoming the first woman to win the Oscars for Best Cinematography.
Yes.
Big W's for our girl. And like I mentioned earlier, you were a guest on season 1, episode 14, where we did a deep dive on Sinners, specifically from a cinematographer's perspective. That was really important to me to cover, not only because I love the film, but I'm like, I think this is one of the most beautiful films I've seen in a while. I want to talk about that with a cinematographer, with somebody who knows the language, who could speak to the technical ability of that crew. And you did so well in that season, or excuse me, in that episode. So after this win, I was like, Ashley, please come back. We got to talk about this again.
With pleasure.
Yay! So, okay. I want to talk about this win and like why it's important, but I do want to add a little preface for myself and then allow you to add any context. So I want to preface this by saying that for me, this conversation is less about the importance of an award in general
Mm,
and more about the
mm-hmm.
significance of the win overall. Um, I think it's okay if people find awards important or if they don't, but I do think, especially as Black women in particular, there is something that happens when another woman or another Black woman wins something that, like, opens
Mm-hmm.
up the door a little bit more and sometimes even
Mm-hmm.
opens up the floodgates. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's a significance in that I think is really important to talk about, but I wanna preface that with, like, that's how I feel about it. I wanna allow you to say how you feel about it. Do you think awards are important to you? Do you think it's a little bit of both
Mm.
and? Where do you stand on that?
Well, my first thought when she won was it's about damn time.
No.
So that gives you a slight look into my sentiment about it. But yeah, I think I feel similarly about the whole like award system.
Mhm.
Um, I have gone through award campaigns of my own on a much smaller level, or not much. I shouldn't say much smaller, but it
Hey,
obviously
don't do
wasn't
that
like
to my girl. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. Don't do that to her.
not on a Hollywood system level, but I've done it for independent film. And the first thing I'll preface that with is like award campaigns are very expensive. I think I was looking it up for Sinners and for One Battle After Another because they were actually both out of the same studio, which was
Oh,
apparently a little taboo. But I think both of their campaigns were around $30 million each. And
whoa.
so just to like give give sort of a comparison, like most independent films don't even have budgets that are that high, like to make the film.
Right.
So there's definitely like a gatekeeping aspect in that regard. Um, and for me, I think awards, I think they're most impactful in the way that it's able to like elevate an artist in a way that it like elevates their craft and like their ability to like move forward and continue working in that craft.
Mm,
But I am also well aware that it's a flawed system. I mean, this is the same system in a way that a few weeks before that was calling Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo the N word at the BAFTAs, and that's
after
even though that was in the UK, it's like that's still in the same sort of award system that the Oscars exist in. And
yeah.
so I'm very also aware that I think that they are I think that the Academy, in a lot of ways, in the Hollywood system, like massages, like kind of crafts these systems to work for who they want it to work for. Because even
Mhm,
Sinners, like I think we talked about this. Well, maybe we didn't, but I remember when it first came out, there was a lot of criticism because
mhm.
the publicity around it, like leading up to it, was like not great until they started to see its success coming out the box
Yeah.
office. And so yeah, I think they saw the success of what Sinners was doing, and they were like, "This could be a really good opportunity for us to get some statues." And then Sinners broke the record for for how many even you can be nominated for. Um, but I wouldn't say if Sinners wasn't as successful as it was, I can't say they would have made the same moves in terms of the campaign. So
Mm,
for that reason, yeah, I think it's a flawed system that you for me, I'm just careful with how much weight it has on my practice as a filmmaker and as a cinematographer.
mhm. I was gonna go a different direction, but
Let's
can
go
you talk a
there.
little bit more
Oh,
about that
which
for my
piece? Which piece?
Um, you were talking about the significance of the weight that it might have on you as a director or cinematographer.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think when you go into this space, and you're putting out work, um, you're always making decisions about what you want it to do in the world. Like, do you want it to make money? Do you want it to be impactful? Do you want it to connect audiences? Do you want it to win awards? Do you want notoriety? And I didn't name all of them, but there's some saying that like you can never, like, you basically have enough time to focus on two of those things and not all of them,
Yeah.
because it's just like that'll you can't really create an evergreen product like that, because at the end of the day your film is going to be made for a certain audience, and that's fine. It's like no one piece of work is going to resonate with everybody.
With everyone. Yeah.
And yeah, it's the same in terms of like what your intention is. And so I think I when it comes to like my perception of the academy, I just like I'm very aware that they're kind of
Mm.
breadcrumbing us in terms of like what they're willing to give. And I understand that it's like a voter system, and like it's supposed to be this whole democratic equitable process, but again, they're putting $30 million into some of these campaigns, so it's like a lot of independent films can't even like get past the shortlist because they can't get in front of the academy voters, enough
It's
academy voters to make them want to
that
vote.
type of budget. Right.
Yeah, you said what?
Because they can't even afford that type of budget to get in front of their eyes.
Right. Exactly. So it's like you may make it on the short list, but then you don't make the ultimate list because you didn't have enough money to be in. They started rerunning Sinners everywhere. Like I actually finally
Mhm.
got to see it on film, like on
Mm.
actual 70 mil, because they ran it again out here in California, and not every film can afford to do that. So I guess like I guess what I'm trying to say is I am aware of the faults in the system, and so I don't want to give it too much weight in the way that I choose to move in my career, because I know that I'm an independent filmmaker, and oftentimes that means limited budgets, limited
Mhm.
support, like, and if you don't have a major studio backing you, it's very hard to like I don't want to correlate the level of my artistry with whether or not I get an award, because there's so many other outside factors that could impact that.
I think that's the biggest or, like, maybe the most resonant definition to me,
Mhm.
and I think that's also for me where the both and comes in, where I'm like, if somebody I like, whether I know them personally or not, like Ryan Coogler, like Autumn, wins an award, I'm happy for them. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
you did something long enough, hard enough, and you achieved a thing. Yay, and you deserve to be acknowledged for that. But also, both and, that
Mhm.
shouldn't be used as the marker of all that you are as an artist or how great you
Yeah.
are as an artist either.
Yeah.
Appreciate you saying that. Okay, so with all that in mind, all this context, what I kept coming back to as I was thinking about it myself was just like what it takes to achieve a milestone anyway. And the one thing
Mhm.
that feels most important to me is just putting in the work, doing something over and over again. Some gonna stick. At least that's how I
Mhm.
feel about it. You've been doing this work for years, and I'm glad you mentioned the awards earlier because I actually had it in my notes to talk about. You at least all that I saw on your IMDb, because yeah,
Oh,
check my
what?
girl, was
There's some
2 awards.
credits missing on there too, because they be spelling my name wrong. So just FYI.
And there are always credits missing, but also
Yeah.
there's a ton of work that would not even make it to IMDb either, and, like,
Yeah.
that's what people always need to remember, like, every
Yeah.
no matter, like, how much work you are seeing, there is so much work behind that work that you did not
Mhm.
see.
Yeah.
But I saw that you have 2 award nominations yourself for the unapologetic film, shout out to your hat, that you directed in 2020. Can you talk a little
Yes.
bit more about that campaigning? Did you campaign for those awards? How did that process work for you?
I'm trying to remember. I think I don't know how they listed on IMDb, but I know that I was selected for two separate awards during our distribution run.
Mhm,
And um, one was both of them were kind of like for first time filmmakers, like feature filmmakers. So one of them was from the Cleveland International Film Festival, and then the other was from the Athena Film Festival, which is a all women's film fest.
Mm-hmm.
And those awards that I was selected for were basically when you're selected for a festival, oftentimes there's like films that are in competition, and then there's films that are just for screening, and the
Mm.
films that are in competition are eligible for audience awards, for jury awards. But these two awards in particular were less about my film and more about like me as an artist.
Ah.
And I think those two, they just, I don't want to say handpicked me, but like I think they just like kind of because you're no because on so, a lot of the submission forms you'll let them know if you're a first time filmmaker. So then they have their own process for
Okay.
selecting those. But we did submit unapologetic for the news and doc Emmys, which
Mm.
is so both the Oscars and the Emmys have like all these like ancillary award systems that are outside of the, because like we're just seeing the primetime Oscars and the primetime Emmys. We're not seeing like the news and doc Emmys. We're not seeing, I think there's like a arts Emmys. There's all these, there's regional Emmys that a lot of homies of mine have gotten. And so when we did our theatrical, we did a limited theatrical for Unapologetic in 2021. Part of that was in service of the News and Doc Emmys campaign, because our film was going to premiere on PBS, and that's a lot of times like the bucket that those films end up in applying for. So yeah, you have to like play in order to be eligible for those awards. You have to play at certain theaters
Mm-hmm.
or in certain film festivals to become. So you'll sometimes see like Oscar qualifying film festival or Emmy qualifying film festival. And so once we had already qualified, but once we also played in those theaters, we were qualified to apply for the Emmys. There's this weird rule where you can't really apply for both the Emmys and the Oscars, which is crazy
Oh,
for
then how we
independent
gonna?
docs. And like,
Oh,
what'd you
okay.
say?
I said, then how we gonna be EGOTs? Come on now.
Well, I think the thing is like, Emmys is for TV, Oscars is for film, but it's like what happens when the film is on TV. And so it's called the double dipping rule, where you can't apply for both in the same season. And so because we felt like we had a much stronger chance to get a news and doc Emmy than an Oscar, because there's more categories, and like
Mm.
that's kind of my qualm with the Oscars too. With docs is like they only have best feature doc and best short doc, and it's like there's all different types of documentaries. Like that's
Right.
like it's hundreds of films vying for 10 spots. And even this year, two short docs won, and I was like, what is this shit? But anyway, did you see that? They were like, it's a tie. And I was like, they were like, we're not joking. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, they ain't no tiebreaker process? Like,
Right.
it was giving Moonlight, like, oops, like,
Mm-hmm.
we guess y'all won. I just didn't like that. But anyway, we ended up applying for the News and Doc Emmys, and that was a very arduous process. It almost feels like filling out an application for like college or like a fellowship or
Mm.
something. And then you pay. I don't think a lot of people realize that you apply to be considered for these awards. It's not just like an executive saw your film somewhere and now they want to nominate it
And
for an
now you're on the
Oscars.
list and you're so
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah,
You're
exactly. Yes, literally. And the same for the Grammy, like all of them. It's like people apply to these. It's not, so sometimes people be like, oh, like for example, like Kendrick, a lot of his Grammys came for GNX this year. And I think a lot of people were confused at first. Like, why wasn't he part of the 20? I'm like, he didn't apply until this season. He
Yeah,
waited a whole year after he had gone on tour, gone to a bunch of theaters and put himself in front of a bunch of people. So the voters are
exactly.
like, yeah, I fuck with that. Um, So yeah, anyway, we went through that whole process, and then it just ultimately got cut short because, like, similar to the Oscars, there's like a short list, or no, not there's not a short list for the news and doc Emmys. They just pick, and there's also like voters for that.
Mm,
And we just didn't. They just didn't select us, which, that's just how it goes sometimes. But
yeah.
it was very similar. Like, let's try to get as many theaters, as many film festivals, like as many screeners out as possible. Had to pay for a publicist to like run this entire campaign. Try to get as much press as you can. Like, I know my girl Autumn was exhausted because I'm like, girl, you are on a new magazine
Podcast,
cover.
oh, and
I
yes,
said,
every
oh my
day.
God, girl, are you exhausted or what?
I must sit for a nap. That girl.
Child. She's like, do
Oh,
not ask me about this 70 mil again.
I'm tired. We're Ryan and Ludwig. I know I'm saying his
Yeah.
name, but
Who?
the composer, I
Oh,
forget.
Ludwig. No, I feel like it's Ludwig.
I well, ain't it like Swedish or something? I know it's
Isn't
like
it like
it's not.
Ludwig Gors? We talked about this last.
I know it's not pronounced Ludwig. It's like so. I'm sorry to
Just
that
like a
man.
Midwest take on
You know,
Ludwig.
but it's probably something like that.
You said it's a hard U, not a soft U.
Sorry.
Sorry to that man. Well, I know I can't say Autumn's last name either, so.
Right,
Arkapaw?
Arkapaw. I think it's
That feels
Arkapaw.
right. That feels
I hope
right.
so.
You said her name gonna be in the title, so.
We're doing our best. I promise you.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
that was sort of the flow of our short-lived awards. I mean, that was still like, it was probably still like at least 6 months between the theatrical run and applying and then waiting to hear back. But yeah, the non primetime award shows are a lot more accessible.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, if I want an Emmy there, I want an Emmy. So,
Okay.
oh, Emmy nominated, Emmy award winning.
There you go. I'm definitely counting in. So, and thinking about her win, like we see, I'm glad you mentioned primetime specifically. We see this primetime win, and the energy is really big, and everybody's like, wow, one, like it's crazy that it took so long
Mhm.
for a woman to win something like this, but also like, oh my God, all of this energy, like this is gonna be so good for us, da 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 da. Like that's always the immediate first two reactions. And I took a second to like think about that for a minute and be like, okay, what is actually gonna be dismantled from this? Is anything actually
Mm,
from this? And I personally, then I was like, oh, I don't even know like any cinematographer like stereotypes or if there are any.
okay.
I'm
Yes.
curious from your perspective, what you think this might dismantle, if anything, or like
Mm,
the stories that might be rewritten because more women
mm.
might be acknowledged for their work as cinematographers now.
Yeah, that's a loaded one. I think no, it's all good. Because on the one hand, I do think Autumn's win for me signifies like, or it affirms um the ability or the right that women DPs have to take risk.
Mhm.
And that's something Autumn and Ryan talk about all throughout the press tour. It's just like how they basically bet on each other. Like,
Yeah.
they had this wild, crazy idea, and then they just believed in each other, and then that's what made it happen. And so I think it signifies to me that, like, as a woman DP, it's like okay to take a risk like that. And I'm talking specifically about the decision to shoot in different formats, and like, and the amount of money they had, the budget they had to work with, and just the balancing act of filming on two different camera systems. Like, that's
Yeah.
enough to drive anyone insane. And so I hope that it signifies to women DPs that it's okay to take those risks, because I think, just speaking from my own experience, and like I mostly work in the independent doc space, so like you know it may look a little different for um, camera ops, women camera ops and DPs in other parts of the film industry, but oftentimes, we're just working so hard to fight for our spot. And then once we get the spot, like fight for our worth, and to um, almost even just like prove our experience and our knowledge, that it's like you're by the time you done all that, like you ain't trying to take no risks. Like you're just trying to like keep your job,
Yeah.
and
And
get them the
next one.
product, right, and get them the product that they want. And it's always such a blessing when you end up on a team that makes you feel safe enough to take those risks. And I could count it on two hands, like the number of times that's happened to me. And it's usually when the people look like me, it's when I feel like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just, on the flip side of that, it's like I'm very aware that this is still a white male dominated industry. Like I have homies that work in the union that are, to me, some of the most talented cam ops and DPs I've ever seen, and they may never move up beyond a film loader or a second AC or wherever the union is like keeping them at, because there's these OG cinematographers that are just like hoarding the spots. And it's like, you've been working in the industry for 50 years. Let somebody else do it. Like, I totally understand that, like, this is a craft that you have to love what you're doing. Like, I'm not trying to downplay that. A lot of folks that you see that are in cinematography work, like they love crafting images, and shaping the world around us. But I think by continuing to have the system in the way that it is, it's limiting our perspectives on these stories and how they're shaped and how they're framed. Like, just imagine what Sinners would have looked like if a non-person of color lens that movie. And Ryan has worked, he worked with Rachel Morrison before. That's a white woman.
Yeah.
But I still stand that, if Autumn had a different POV than Rachel did. And I'm sure he thought, that was part of his consideration. And so, yeah, I don't know that it'll like shake the system up enough that these like old dude bros that have been DPs for their half of their lives are gonna step aside, or even like mentoring folks. Like I feel like there's a lack of that in this space, like in below the line roles like camera and lighting. I wish there was more disruption to the system in that way, because the cinematography of a film is like so crucial to the way that it's perceived. And unfortunately, just there aren't enough Ryans in the world that are willing to like take risk on other women DPs or Black women, women of color, what have you, so that they feel safe enough to take those risks. So yeah, I'm skeptical, but I know for me it definitely at least is a signal to that it's okay to take the risk, and you don't have to play it safe just because you're grateful to be in the position in the first place.
Yeah, that part. I
Yeah.
think then my closing question around this is like over the next couple years, what are some things that might help you or honestly all of us measure real change being made? What would that look like, do you think?
Oh my girl. Real change. I mean, more women crew heads. Like it's not just a DP department thing. Like it should also be more lead gaffers, more lead grips, more like in the photo space, more art, like women art directors. I'm sure there's probably a lack of those. I'm just guessing. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we could
just
probably do so.
Just use a few more. Yeah, I think more women in leadership roles. I think something I try as best I can to advocate for is just like access to the space in general. And so back to my point just about mentoring, like I think um there's a lot of gatekeeping that happens just because people can't afford to even um start to like grow in the craft. And
Mm,
so whether that's like more gear sharing programs or more, I don't know, like I know it probably won't happen, but like the lack of affordability in owning being an owner operator of like cinema level gear
mhm,
is abysmal to say the least. And it's like this doesn't have to be this way because I promise you the cameras that were new in the industry like 5 years ago were still very good. And just because there was a turnover, now people are trying to like, a lot of executives and producers want to go after the next best thing. And I'm like, there needs to be a conversation about accessibility because
mm.
I can't afford to take out a loan to get an Ari Alexa system to pay off for the next 24 months of my life. I
Right.
would rather not do that. I don't care that it's gonna get me more jobs, quote unquote. And I'm like, I know people that own Alexas and don't are not getting work right now. And so
Mm,
yeah, I think there's an accessibility shift that needs to happen because there's a lot of talented artists who just literally cannot afford to invest in their crafts. Um, yeah, and I think on a larger scale, um, I'm curious. I'm curious what it opens up in the conversation with other DPs of Autumn's caliber, and just the way that she is or is not invited to spaces after this. I think
mm,
um, we should be very aware of because it's one thing, in the lead up to the Oscars, obviously, to the way that they're like kind of interacting to her in these spaces, but like the next OG DP circle on Variety, is Autumn going to be there? Like, are there going to be more? I'm sure there are. I should have looked it up before I talked to you, but I'm sure on the Oscar shortlist itself, there's at least a handful of other women that were the DPs on these projects. What are they doing? How are they being engaged within the space? It's just like white men and men in general are not the only experts of experience, and I promise you it's just a critical mass issue because we know that like 9 times out of 10 women are more talented than men in the first place, or smarter or more creative. So like it's kind of like women DJs, and you already
like,
know how I feel
women
about
just
that.
know the vibe. Exactly. Like, no matter we can talk about anything, a party, a set, a
Yeah,
school. Like, women get
yeah,
it. Like, come on.
yeah. So it's
No.
like y'all just don't want to take y'all don't want to like let up your grip on this thing, and it's like
Mhm.
the craft is only going to be made better if you invite more people in. So
Yeah. I really appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that.
yeah,
I think we both and all of our listeners, I'm sure, were so happy for this Sinners great win overall. I mean, they had
yeah,
16 nominations, which, like you said earlier, is the most nominations ever.
yes,
Almost 100 years of the Oscars, and we're still out here, like, making history with a
yeah,
movie like this, like, that's incredible. So, shout out to Autumn, shout out to Ryan and their whole team. They killed it with that clearly, and it's a gorgeous
yes,
film, and we're so happy to cover it and think deeper about it with you today. But this feels like a good place to take a break, so we'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by Bridgesfield Studios. Bridgesfield Studios is a creative space where you can host your workshops and intimate events or plan your next photo shoot. This Latina-owned studio is located in the Pilsen neighborhood in Chicago, and you can find them on Instagram at Bridgesbuilt Studios to book. Let's get back to the show. And we're back. So, Ashley, we didn't get the opportunity to do these segments last time because we were just talking about sinners. And I'm actually happy because we started a new segment
okay,
after we had our original episode. So you get the full breath of what we got going on at the end of this episode. So let's start off
period.
with the gear don't matter, but so this is where we talk about our favorite pieces of gear anyway. This segment was inspired by the fact that people are always asking photographers, especially, like, what camera you're using anytime they see a shot,
Mhm.
as if the cameras took the photo themselves. And, while I think, it's important to honor the artist behind any camera, it is also important to honor the gear that we use, even though it does not use itself. So, I'm curious, what's your favorite piece of equipment? It does not have to be a camera, but it can be.
Mm. Oh my god. It feels like choosing between all my children. Um,
That's true.
okay. Favorite piece of equipment. I really enjoy when I'm using my Sigma Art 18 to 35 millimeter lens. I
Mm,
think because it's a technically a still lens, but it has like cinematic elements. And it's really fast. Like I think it's like a 1 point, I don't know, 4 or something completely out of this world.
yeah.
But yeah, back to what I was saying earlier, just about affordability and accessibility. Like I didn't have to break my bank to get it, and it looks really. Oh, did it pause? Oh, I was saying, it's a still lens, but it has a very cinematic feel to it, and it's also
Mhm.
very fast. I think it's like a 1.4 or 1.2. I really like how it
Wow.
looks with skin. Yeah, it's just it's part of my selling point when I'm trying to get a gig. Is usually my
True.
lenses. I also, when things are glitching, I was like, let me. Have you ever seen this camera?
Oh, the Holga, yeah, but I've never used it. I've never seen it in person, just pictures.
Okay, so like when I was taking a road trip from LA to Chicago with my homie last year, I
Mhm.
bought this in a camera. No, it was like a knickknack store in Taos, New
Ooh.
Mexico. And this is a medium format, but I was like, why is it only like $40? And then I found out that it's like more of a like it used to be an Instagram camera and then they like turned it into like a medium format. And so I was like, oh, like these photos gonna flop, like it ain't even going. But I wanted to just jump into medium format, and like half of them showed up, and they looked beautiful. So it's
You're not
slowly,
give me a Holga?
girls, only $40. Well, I got it at the knickknack shop. I don't know how much it is out off rip,
You're
but
right. Like, why shouldn't you? Hold on.
yeah, cause like, and it's very basic. Like, there's no. The focus is literally you're telling it how far the subject is. It's very basic, but
Oh,
it,
okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's $40.
is it actually $40? Did you look?
It is, it's
Oh,
still
period.
$40.
Period.
And they got a couple different versions of their 120.
Yeah.
But yeah, almost all of them are 40.
I just wanted to, because I do 35,
Okay.
but I wanted to just like dip my toe in the medium format. Similar to Sinners, it's like, I feel like it takes the photography to a whole nother level. Like, oh, like this is what the
Yeah.
color and the texture looks like on medium format. Like, I see why y'all be using this.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, period. Y'all might see me with a Holga on my next trip.
Let's get into it, sis.
Okay, so our next segment is photographs not taken. I've been trying to like toy with different ways of asking this question, so I'm gonna explain a little bit. So, photographs not taken is where I want to know a moment you noticed a photograph in your mind's
Hmm.
eye, but you didn't take it. And that could be for any reason. It could be ethically, it felt like you probably shouldn't capture that. Also, it could be on film. You felt like you shouldn't capture that, maybe put the camera down. It could be, oh, damn, I don't have my camera on me, so I wasn't able to take it. And all this is just a memory or anything
Mm.
else. So, I would love to know a photograph you wish you would have taken but never did.
The way I be thinking about this segment all the time, but the way
I want to say
but I don't retain information, Chrissy. You know what I mean? Like you be like, I'm gonna go out in the world, I'm gonna remember to look for this, and then it just
And then
goes.
you don't. Damn.
Because I really feel like I could give a good. I feel like I could give a really good example. Um, like as a like with motion film, like times I've been out
Mhm.
filming and haven't been able to have put the camera down for whatever reason, but it's just escaping me. So I guess I won't. I guess I won't go down that. But in terms, there was. I feel like the answer I have is a cop out. Now I really gotta think about it. Why you do this?
Uh, you gotta think about
Okay, I'll just say the cop out answer. So
it. Okay.
I actually could take this photo if I wanted to, but in the neighborhood that I live in Oakland, I'm a runner, so like I'm constantly kind of running the same paths every week or so. And
Mhm.
so have become very, and hopefully this don't indicate too much where I live in Oakland, but
Well,
um,
you it's a different path every day. You don't know what's gonna be there at no time. Okay? Let that be clear.
exactly, can't keep up with me. But no, on one of the paths that I do take, I always pass this house that outside of it, he has, I'm assuming it's a he, maybe it's a woman, but there's like all these old fashioned old like cars that he like
Oh, it's
very
always that.
clearly, yeah, that he like very clearly like refurbishes and like changes things around with. And so but the cars don't move. Like I've never seen them move from where they are parked, and there's maybe 3 or 4 of them around his house. And so every time I'm running
Wow.
down that path, I'm like, I would love, and I don't even know who lives in the house. Like maybe I need to knock on the door, but like I would love to capture a photo at some point of those cars during sunset, because like if anyone's ever seen a California sunset, it goes bananas
Yes.
but I would want to do it with him or her, whoever it is,
Mhm.
sort of, proudly, and they're all parked on the corner too, so it's like, you got somewhere for the eye to go. Like I see it in my head,
Yeah.
so
You can't never go wrong with a good old school photo
yeah,
anything.
ever.
Those cars just grab so well. They're so
And
beautiful.
I'll take like I've taken photos of it, but not like with my like just on like my phone, not like
Yeah.
with my gear. So I guess
Maybe
that's
you
my
should knock
answer.
on their door. It might be a story or something behind that door. Who
It
knows?
might be. I'll think about
Okay,
it.
so this next segment actually, now we talking about cars. It's called the PLC playlist. I wanna know something you've been listening to lately.
Oh. Oh, hold on. Let me go to my
How the
Spotify.
girls can play it on set. And actually, I need to pull mine up too so I can
Just
hear
one just
mine.
one song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we're being called to another one.
I should just say what I was bumping last night, but maybe I won't go that
I
direction.
mean, maybe you should.
After a long work day. Are you familiar with Jeneveive with the J?
Mhm. Yeah.
She has this song. It's kind of dark. I mean, it's okay. The song is called Beam Me Up," like "Beam Me Up, Scotty."
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, but it's just kind of a playful, like it's poppy, but like it's like a playful poppy soulful vibe. But it's literally the lyrics are basically like, "Get me out of here," like
She said, "No,
like this is
actually."
getting to be too much. Beam me the.
I don't think I know this one. I'm
It's so
pulling it
good, and it's
up.
like it's the instrumentation is chef's kiss. But runner up to that, because I saw Amber Mark this week in concert out here. Do you
Okay.
listen to Amber Mark? Are you familiar with our girl?
A little bit. Mhm.
Okay, well, I would highly recommend. There's a song called "Sink In" that is all the dance vibes,
Think
all the yeah, "Sink In." Yeah,
I got you.
it's
Oh, a
awesome.
dance
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah, yeah. It's a good one.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I think mine is gonna be, the other day, I have a cousin.
I love that these have stories. Yes.
I have a cousin who's like 93
Who's what?
and who's like 93.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
He's the best. I love him. Shout out to Bobby. I be calling him Uncle Bobby a lot because
I'm
I'm just
like,
like, you too grown for me to just be calling you
that's
Bobby. Like you're
facts.
90.
But then I'm also
You know,
like,
so
it's on your mom's side or your dad's? Like, how old are these siblings? How big is the gap? Okay, I'm sorry. I have further questions we can figure out later.
that's
Because my
fair.
oldest cousin
And
is like maybe almost 60.
well, I don't know.
Oh, it's one of them
I always
cousins.
I always forget if it's like first or second
I see what you're
cousin,
saying. Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's my grandma's.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Like cousin
You
once
know, so
removed type situation. Like
and
not.
I never know who belonged. Like, is this my first cousin, my second cousin? I always forget.
Yeah, I got
So
you. That makes
anyway,
sense.
he my cousin in his 90s, and I always go to his house to see him. And the last time I went over, he was like, "Let's go play these records." And he always trying to get people to play the records.
Hmm.
And so I was like, "Yeah, come on, let's go." He got a turntable and he got a huge record collection. And one song I was listening to that he got on record is called World Spin by A Taste of Honey.
Ooh,
I had never heard of this group. It's two women, A Taste of Honey,
I
World
see
Spin.
it.
But
Yes.
he played, well, I played it technically because he sat there and handed me the record and he put this on. So, but I was like, oh, what's this? Hold on. And I'm like adding everything we were
No,
listening
for
to that I
real. That's the thing. Records are how you really like find the gems. The only part that
man,
sucks is some vinyls, like some of the tracks, they never got licensed to like any type of streaming. And it's like you only can
exactly.
hear this on the record or like YouTube. Like
It was one or two of them where I couldn't find it on any streaming at all. And
yeah.
it was like, it was bittersweet because I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
like I feel like this is a real music moment. And then I'm like, damn, I want to play you all the time, but
Yeah,
I
for
can.
real.
And it was 45s. I'm like, I don't have a record.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a real good time. So shout out to Taste the Honey. I hope they're good. I didn't look them up to see where they at in the world,
Oh,
but
like
I hope they're still
yes,
with.
yes. They're
Yeah.
in a good place. I'm like, good. You already said it was good, girl. I added it to my. I'm gonna listen to that right when we get off. See what they talking about.
Yeah, it was a good vibe.
Cool.
Okay. Last but not least, we got Shoot Your Shot. This segment is where we take the opportunity as a collective to send you extra little love and sparkles and good juju for your next project. So, who is somebody or company you would love to work for or shoot?
Great question. Okay. First person comes to mind is another DP that people should know. Her name is Kira Kelly. I think I'm saying that right. She was, if I'm remembering correctly, the first Black woman to be inducted into the American Society of Cinematographers. And this was recently, of course, like Autumn.
Right.
But she has she has shot on a lot of,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. She shot on a lot of Ava DuVernay's stuff. She shot a lot of Queen Sugar. She just DP'd that Jordan Peele produced project, Him. Um,
mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, I would love to like literally work on her camera team or like even have her be a mentor of mine. So if you listening, Kira,
And I know
um,
you are.
she actually follows me on Instagram, which is like people get excited about celebrity follows. Like that is what I don't know why
No,
she
yes.
followed me, but I'm like whatever, I'll take it.
No,
Um,
for real.
but yeah, even if you
Yeah, I
look,
know why she follow you.
you said who? Oh, Autumn.
I know why she
Oh,
follow
you know
you.
why? Okay,
Because you could be in that camera department.
guys. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, but she's always like I feel like I was really impacted by cuz she lensed a lot of Queen Sugar and I just really love how they played with like skin tones and color. in
Mm.
space in that show, even though I know some people hated how they play with space. But you know,
Mad at it. Hated it?
they be short. They did a lot of short sighting where it's like the face is on the edge of the screen and there's a lot, and that's like breaking a rule. But I'm like, that's what like that's her
That's what we're supposed to
prerogative,
do.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really that's when she kind of came into my purview. So I would just love to collaborate. I would love just to talk to her. She ain't even gotta pay me.
Uh-uh.
You're like, don't say that.
Kira, we know you're listening, but don't listen to that. No, but we are helping Ashley manifest this. You clearly are already tapped into the genius that is Ashley O'Shea, and we love that and we
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes.
So please do on your next big project that we all are excited to watch. Hit up Ashley for that camera department to
Bring my
help you
line.
build and construct the next world that y'all do. Okay?
Yes. I travel for work.
Period. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us again. I'm so happy you could make.
Yes. Thank you
Could
for
you tell the
having
people where you
me.
could like Yes, of course.
Yes. I can be found in Oakland, California as of right now.
Mhm.
But I my website, all my socials and everything are under Ashley O'Shea. I really feel like you could just type my name in because I don't really know anyone else with that name. And
I
my
don't either.
website is ashleyoshea.com. And then, yeah, of course, want to quickly shout out my current film, Southmont Drive, that has progressed since we last spoke, but that's for a different
Yes.
conversation. But yeah, that will be coming to PBS next year, and
Hey. Yes, love to see.
yes. But yeah, that's on Instagram at Southmont Drive Film. Yeah. So check us out. And we also are still accepting funding for that as well. So
Y'all heard at the top of the show. We got a lot of funds to put into all these different campaigns to support the film.
yes.
So today,
Try to get these Emmys.
no, for real. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Shout out to Southmont Drive. I'm so happy it's progressed so much in this short
yes.
amount of time, for real, when you really think about it.
Yeah. Yes.
With that in mind, please do subscribe, follow, listen, watch everywhere you get your podcast at Photographer Life Check, especially on YouTube and Spotify. That's where you can see all of our beautiful faces and all the beautiful work we are talking about. And you can find me also anywhere you get your podcast at QURISSY. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Peace.